This is a rig that I made for a short film called Everything Must Go. If we rotate around him, we can see that he's made up of a series of flat polygons that are stacked in front of each other in Z. This was similar to the approach that I've shown in previous videos, but this time I built all of the outlines into the shapes themselves because I wanted to reduce the amount of layers that the animators would have to manage. His geometry is bounded joints, which are grouped under animation controls, and his arms and legs are set up with IK handles and pull vector constraints to manage their orientation. This allows us to easily ground the feet and add constraints to the hands for prop interaction. The feet are similar to a standard 3D rig with ball controls to lift the heel off the ground, and additional controls to reshape the legs. There are also controls to reposition the tapered leg line. These can be redrawn to change the foot from a 3/4 back view to a front view and a profile. And it has a channel to swap the geometry for a separate model that shows the underside of the foot, which can be animated on or off whenever needed. The top of the leg can be moved to the front or the back of the body, and the tapered lines can be modified independently. The body is a standard hierarchy with hip and spine controls, and additional shape controls for the outer edges, and inner controls to reshape the shirt design for perspective cheats and cleanup, and controls for the belt, collar, and his fanny pack. The head has the same kind of controls as the body, and the hair has a set of controls for shaping and overlap. His hat can be toggled on for shots when he needs it, and the inside and outside of the hat are modeled as one surface which can fit around his hair. Everything is built so it can be modified for specific poses and to fake perspective changes. For instance, the panels on the hat have lattices built into them so they can be posed to look like they're angled back in space. And the rest of the hat have translation and shape controls, including the small rivets. The shirt sleeves follow the arm and have their own controls, and they're built like the base of the hat to fit around the arm geometry. I really like having the sleeve set up like this because it reduces it down to just one shape and creates a clean look. The hands are more interesting. I chose to keep the fingers separate from the palm of the hand since they needed to be able to hit so many different poses. This reduced rigging limitations, but became the animator's responsibility to manage all the pieces and clean up the line work. And there's also a wrinkle line shape that can be posed for the palm of the hand. The hands are built with 6 swappable rigs so they could be posed from front, 3/4, and back views. To help manage this setup, I created a GUI to key between rigs and display each rig's controls. For prop interaction, the 3/4 hands work well, but the front and back views needed additional curl controls to wrap around objects. The mouth can be moved independently from the face, and the dark stubble shape can be posed to support the mouth shapes. The mouth has a similar GUI to the hands, where animators can select 5 mouth rigs, add teeth, tongues, and a mouth corner curve. There's a simple line mouth with a few extra shape controls for closed mouth expressions, an open mouth rig with upper and lower lines and an interior shape, a corner curve that can be added for any mouth shape. There are 2 tongue rigs. The first is a simple straight tongue, and the second is an overlapping shape. And the upper and lower teeth can be added. This is the same open mouth rig with 2 additional lines for the front of the mouth, which can be used to extend the mouth beyond the face. Here's a simple circle mouth, and a circle mouth with additional geometry. Controls are shared between mouth rigs as much as possible, so animating between them is more fluid. The nose has controls to modify his 3/4 and profile poses, and can be swapped for a front-facing nose for head turns. The brows are simple but have enough controls to achieve S-curve poses. The pupils are constrained to the eyes so they follow them but do not inherit their scale or rotation values, and the eyes and lids have shapers and set-driven key channels for blinks. Finally, the rig has a GUI to switch between 3/4 front and back views for the body and the head. The head and the body work independently from each other, and this is done with a combination of replacement geometry and repositioning with set-driven keys. Lastly, here's an animation test of an earlier version of this character. It was a good way to test out the rig and to help establish the animation style for the film. Since we were mixing flat style characters with 3D elements, I gave him a stand-in for his binoculars to see how well they work together. And if we rotate the camera around, we can see how this is cheated to make this look right from camera. Well, I hope this shows how we can set up some of these flat style characters in Maya, and thanks for watching.